Yeah.
Good evening, I call this meeting to order. We're gonna move on to pledge of allegiance. Can you believe it?
You stand on move, but you have. Salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. You want the roll call?
You know.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Flores.
Yeah.
Councilmember Hay.
Here.
Councilmember Scorpio. Councilmember Sanchez.
Here.
All members of the.
Moving on to the approval of the agenda, do I have a motion to approve the agenda tonight? I move we approve the agenda. No.
We need to have a special.
Yeah. So the opinion. Here goes, motion by name, second by Sawyer, all in favor? Aye. Before we get to council, I just want to welcome Soledad, our new finance, does that right, Soledad? And Dolly, let's pronounce that, welcome to Lindsay, we appreciate you guys. Then we'll move on to council. I'll make mine really quick. I'm glad that we're back. It was a long one. It was nice. Mayor and I attended the Ethics and Brown Act training. We also, my family, we went to the senior center to do rock cleaning. And apparently, if you want to not speak for long periods of time, you need paint and a rock. And I concentrate now, okay, all. So there's a clue right there. I also attended the Rock High 4th of July baseball game, and got to throw out the first pitch. I can say that my pitch was better than Chief Norman's, but I had practice. My daughter's comment was, I thought you said you could throw. So that was great. But it was really fun. It was really awesome to see the fireworks. They did an amazing job. We've taken our girls to public swim several times in the last few weeks, and we absolutely love it. It's a great time and you just relax in a pool or try to swim and it's really hard to swim. We also attended the other city of Lindsay sponsored Rawhide baseball game, which was a lot of fun. Did we get a prize because we were loud? Is that what we got that prize? Because we were the loudest cheer. He is like, yeah, it was fun. It was fun. It was really cool. And then that's it. We got some more stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks, so we'll talk about that later. Thank you.
It's good to see everybody here. I went to the economic development last month. Joseph gave us an update on active development projects. He gave us an update on the next projects. Also, Erica de President, she's president and CEO of the Prairie County Economic Development Corporation. She was there. She gave us an overview on 2025 2024-2025. Annual premium on the plan of 2025 and 2026. She talked about in the presentation, she talked about the vision, marketing, site selection, top industries, Lindsay needs, goals, and, there was a lot of information that she threw out at us, but it was good information, we had good dialogue. And lastly, I just want to say that the olive bowl is awesome. We have this now, it kind of looks small, but I'm not complaining, It was good.
I agree, thank you. Sure.
Last time was a goal, was welcome everybody, welcome back, staff and council. I want to thank everybody for attending. Before I go into my report, I just want to let everybody know that not only do I hold myself to higher standards, our council holds themselves to a higher standard, and so does the staff. We had a situation on the course the last few weeks, and we've addressed it. We don't have to beat around the bush. We really do our best to be transparent, to be straightforward, and to serve our communities. We're not trying to hide anything. We've moved past that, and I really appreciate everybody being here and addressing their concerns. And we already started addressing. So thank you for that. I have been to a whole bunch of different events that found fun night. Thank you, Armando, your staff. That's
Connor?
Connor, yes. Him and Connor were running around. It was hot that day, but it was great. It was fantastic turnout. And I took my son to it. I also attended the Friday Night Market a few weeks. Unfortunately, it does look like we have less of a turnout because of various situations, but the vendors are still coming out, people are still coming out, so I really appreciate the support for our local vendors. I've also been finishing up our local club swim season. They are last home meet, and we had over 300 people at the wellness center. They actually ready to roll up the doors and have a great time. And so people love the facility. It's a big attraction for the city. And our club, it's about our club also represented Lindsay at time trials. We had close to 30 kids qualified for time trials, and then over 10 kids qualified for 10 different events to finals for the Central Valley Club Recreation League. So it's really amazing to see not just soccer and football, but also extension events. I also was able to kick off the Lindsay Youth football and cheer season. They started practicing last week's season, and I'm going to be the head coach for the Bats and 800, so I'm looking forward to the season, and it's going to be a hot, fun season. And I was also able to attend the East Korea Sustainability Agency meeting yesterday. There's a lot of good work being done, not just in Lindsay, but around Lindsay. Our Council State Sustainability Agency has a lot of different projects in the works to ensure that it's helping not just Lindsay, but the outside communities, Tonyville, Toolville, and stay safe. So they've been getting a lot of different funding from the state, from the department, the State Water Resource Control Board. So they've given a lot of funds to finish a lot of different projects, not just in Lindsay, but the border of Lindsay. They're working on identifying different wells that are contaminated. They are working on consolidating different projects. So it's something that I really feel proud that this is being represented on the board. We have an input, but it's a brand money from this. So hopefully we can bring that to Lindsay. Yeah, other than that, I've been enjoying the cool July weather. So
Thank you. Good evening. I've attended the Brown Act. The family, it was a family fun night. It was the dance party that I went to. Yeah, that was pretty fun. They had a lot of things on. I'm already knows how to run parties. I also attended the Friday night market. Was making my rounds. They always have good food there. But other than that, I've had the summer off, and so I've really taken the time to just really meet with some of the community members, whether it's having coffee, at Starbucks. My phone is pretty busy, but I really wanted just to be like present and just figure them out and, have them voice their concerns. So I'm always available. You guys need something or need talk or coffee, so I love coffee. Another thing I want to point out is the park's looking good. Last night I took my dog for a walk and my son for some playtime and it's looking good. The grass is greener. The disc golf, people were playing that, so it was pretty cool. It was fun. Just at 7 o'clock. So yeah, that's all I have to report. And I know that they're gonna have a busy schedule coming, so a lot to report in the next month and a half, probably. So that's it. Yeah. All right, who wants to public comment? The public is invited to comment on any subject under the jurisdiction of the Lindsay City Council. Please note that the speaker that wishes to comment on a regular item or public hearing on tonight's agenda will have the opportunity to speak when public comment for that item is requested by mayor. Comments shall be limited to 3 minutes per person, with 30 minutes for the total comment period, unless otherwise indicated by the mayor. The public may also choose to submit a comment before the meeting via email. Public comments received via email will be distributed to the council prior to the start of the meeting and incorporated into the official minutes. However, they will not be read aloud. Under state law, matters presented under public comment cannot be acted upon by council at this time. So if you choose to come out at this time, please state your name and your address. We're taking public comment at this time. En este momento se invita al público a comentar sobre cualquier tema bajo la jurisdicción del ayuntamiento de Lindsay. Tenga en cuenta que quienes deseen comentar sobre un punto regular o una audiencia pública de la agenda de esta noche tendrán la oportunidad de hacerlo cuando el alcalde o la alcalde solicite comentarios públicos sobre el punto. El tiempo de comentarios se limitará a 3 minutos por persona, con un total de 30 minutos para el periodo de comentarios, a menos que el alcalde indique lo contrario. Por favor, digan su nombre y su domicilio cuando se pongan a favor. En este momento, pueden.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Esmeralda Nieto, vivo en la calle Central, 395. Hoy,
Yeah.
por favor, ¿puede prender el micrófono?
Should be on.
¿Es un botón?
It's on, it's on.
Nomás se acerque que
The lights has to be on. There you go.
Hoy vengo a pedirles que si por favor nos ayudan para el bill del agua. Yo no estuve aquí del 15 de mayo hasta hace 2 semanas llegué. El bill del agua está muy alto y pues no tenemos dinero para pagar, no tenemos trabajo. Estamos esperando llamadas para trabajar y yo vine y no me resolvieron nada y nomás me dijeron que tenía una fuga. Yo les dije que no y me dijeron que iban a chequear, me chequearon el medidor, fueron a ver y no encontraron nada y de todos modos me dijeron que no podían hacer nada. Mi bill es de 283,67 centavos. La razón que me dieron es que 4 meses para atrás no habían cobrado el agua. Entonces, esa fue la única razón que me dijeron. Y yo les dije que de todos modos yo no estuve. La casa estaba sola, nomás estaba mi esposo. Y ahorita yo hice un video y todas las personas vinieron y tengo muchos comentarios de bastante, muy caro. Aquí está una persona que le cobraron $600. Son 3 en su casa. Y venimos que nos pueden ayudar porque no sabemos qué hacer. Nos vamos a quedar sin agua porque no tenemos para pagar. También hace unos años, en el 2023, aquí el dueño de la casa me subió $100 de renta porque ellos iban a pagar el drenaje y la basura. No sé qué pasó, qué no funcionó. A mí me llegó, aquí tengo mi bill, me llegó de $33 de agua en ese entonces. No sé qué pasó. Otra vez nos devolvieron el bill y no me rebajaron la renta. Necesitamos que nos ayuden. No nos dan respuesta. Todas las personas pueden enseñar estructibles, están demasiado altos. No podemos ni tomar agua, tenemos que comprar agua. La comida está demasiado cara. No sé qué vamos a hacer.
Señora, lo que le puedo explicar es que en este momento nosotros no podemos darle respuestas. Este momento nomás es para comentar en público, por eso le dimos su nombre y su domicilio. Así tenemos anotado quién está platicando. Si usted está representando a todos, entonces podemos hacer una junta con usted separado de aquí. Así podemos nosotros agarrar más información. Nos hemos dado cuenta de lo que está pasando. Pero apenas, yo no sé cuánto tiempo ha estado teniendo este problema, pero en este momento por eso no les podemos dar una respuesta, pero podemos hacer una junta después. ¿Ok? So I'm telling her that we can't actually just come right now, but public comment, but what we can do is Thank you.
Gracias.
Miranda. Yeah, it's not there. Número de teléfono
Es 559-239-7795.
ok, gracias.
Digo yo. Mi nombre es Socorro Lemos. Yo estoy aquí también por la misma razón. Yo y mi esposo también vivimos en la casa y cada mes nos está subiendo $20 al día. Ya tiene como 5 meses consecutivos, que va 20. Mis papás también, inclusive ya están jubilados los dos también y le están llegando casi los biles por mes, casi $200. Pues ya están jubilados, viejitos, ya no pueden trabajar y se nos hace como injusto también mucho de agua y aparte que ni lo la podemos tomar. Si nos mandan el papel dice el agua no te la puedes tomar, tenemos que comprarla siempre para tomar, para cocinar, para todo, entonces estamos pagando nomás por bañarnos. No sabemos que si tenemos una respuesta para darnos, somos, como dice la señora, somos muchos y muchos las quejas. Yo soy mayordomo de trabajadores y muchos llegan y se quejan. Y que mi bill me llegó de esto, y mi bill me llegó de tanto, y le digo, pues vamos a ir a una junta a ver qué nos resuelven o si nos ayudan en algo. Yo sé que si el Estado ayuda o no ayuda para eso, ¿qué podemos hacer? Como miran, el incremento de las rentas, en todo, como dice ella, la comida, todo caro y el sueldo que nos pagan, pues bueno, un poquito, 16.50. Yo sé que eso no es culpa de ustedes, no porque nosotros lo estudiamos, pero en realidad hay mucha gente que no tuvo la posibilidad de estudiar por X razones, pero pues queremos nomás saber si nos solucionan esto del agua o si podemos tener una respuesta.
¿Recuerdo que es el municipio?
Es 356 Cottonwood, Lindsay, California. El teléfono es 559-217-93.
Okay. Thank you. Want to reset that?
Okay, hi, I'm Veronica, I'm here because I do have, some of the Pittsburgh and who else is getting their bills super high, and I'm been one of them. This year I noticed it really high and stuff, and it's been affecting me because I do only have 3 kids and then myself right now, and the tickets that I used to pay, because like me, since I own a house, I always have managed like, okay, this month, pay this month, and my water, I always have it at least $100, 120 the most. But now it's been like almost $300, and it's like I can't even catch up. You know, so it's kind of stressful. You know, like to think like I don't even want to get the bill. I got it. My daughter's like, Mom, once you're done on the water, you can tell right now. I already my bill is super high, and it's like I can never catch up. You know, it's getting higher. So, and it just happened like recently. I want to say the difference, like in January, February, I see the difference. I came and asked them, and I was like, oh, you know, I can't do the whole thing, but I could do this, you know. And they're like, and I asked them like, why, you know, why is the water so high? That you don't know, you know, that you know, you don't want to do the whole payment or something happen. I just say but and there's times I don't even give nothing, you know. So because it's been really high and stressful.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Manuel. My address is 751, so it's fine. And my concern is about the water. Also, I was comparing my bill, to last year's bill. I would, have a bill for my bills are up in, and my street bill, the first one I got was 8 something, 100, a little bit. And right now I'm getting that for 200, with 70%. And I feel like I haven't wasted much more water than in previous years. So my concern is what's going on. And also, I would like to, add this to you guys, a post I saw about something, but I had somebody else report it because my phone was off yet. I believe it was one of the workers from the Lindsay monster, but I wanted you guys to take a look at it. He was doing a big car with big tank, and he somehow fell asleep, and when the water was dropping out of the tank, he woke up to turn it off. So I'm wondering, is that what's happening, the AC work? And it's that way the water's going to work, and we're having full confidence. I would like to see you guys would like to see it. We could get it, meter,
Yeah, I don't know if we can take it right now. Public other screens that voice your concerns right now, and we don't act upon it right now, but that's what we keep information.
yeah, I also had one of the workers go check my meter, if there was a leak, and he said there was no leak, so, and he gave me a comparison of, he said, I agree with you, this is way much higher than the meter. And I came to see, what was going on, and he said, it was, they weren't trying to use it water, I was like, they didn't fix this because it's not my fault that they're not doing their job right, and I'm having to pay the hospital. I'm a farm leader worker, and it's kind of hard to pay everything. I'm buying a house, payments. It's hard because you don't get to good.
Yeah.
Then
Would like to submit, she sent the video.
If you have, contact information, you can give it $1. Put it on a piece of paper or something, name, address, so we'll reach out.
I have it because one of my friends on Snapchat reported it today.
Hmm.
It was like a bit 2 hours ago.
Do you guys mind sticking around just so the city manager can, brief you guys on some stuff regarding this topic?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, thank you. Si pueden nos sentar aquí por los problemas del agua o los días, si se pueden quedar un momentito después de que terminemos el comentario del público, el manejador del pueblo, va a platicar con ustedes.
Buenas tardes. Buenas tardes.
His name is Alex. Oh, no tenemos que González. O sea, el número 86, 9304. En el día para de $200 y se pagó 64. No era mi de $200. 107 con 54 centavos. Eso es lo que yo decía. A ver si me pueden ayudar.
¿Qué es un municipio?
140 y medio. En la calle es la que está aquí, no puedes mandar a. Eso es lo que yo venía.
Gracias.
You want to go? You go ahead. You already got it.
I want to make sure we're all have to do with the water. This way, things.
Okay.
My name is Antonio. I live at 603 North Rambla, and I'm the one that built the $700. Since January, we've been seeing that the bills are going so high, and I've been trying to catch up with paying it off, but $200 each month isn't working with you guys. And I have previous months and this month, and then I was here yesterday to pay this month too, and I have the receipt and everything. But constantly $200 isn't working out with them, so I don't know what to do anymore. I'm getting to the point where at the same time, I'm coming out to these days to see if I can get some help out with it.
What was your question?
So that's another.
Stick around now.
Hello, City Council, my name is Rob Garcia, I'm a Porterville resident. I work for a nonprofit, organization that's based here in Lindsay, California, Pasadena, Forum. And the Lindsay residents invited me to, stand with them and show support and some sort of moral support, when it comes to addressing this issue. I just heard about this, a couple of days ago, and, I came across this, I thought questions or concerns as well. These are just regular everyday hardworking folks here in Lindsay. And this isn't just happening to them, right? As we've also heard from other testimony that it's happening across the entire town where more residents are noticing this as well. And it's starting to catch up with folks as well. It's affecting their abilities to not just, pay their bills, but also their ability to have disposable income so they can enjoy time with their families and save money for other ambitions that they may have. A couple of things I want to just bring your attention to is these residents all across town cannot wait until next month bill to come in for this to be addressed and need this addressed as soon as possible. So I know Council Member Navi closed meeting with some of the residents, so that we can address this issue. And I heard many council members, as well as you, city manager, offered to do that at the meeting as well. And if we can get that done as soon as possible, that would be extremely helpful. Like I said, at this rate, cannot wait until August bill coming. Another thing too is, what about the money that's already been paid as well, right? For some of these others, they have hundreds of dollars in back in what they need to do. Is that going to roll over to the next month as well? Or are these bills going to, it's only going to look back and adjust the rates so that they can, properly charge, or they're going to need refunds or any sort of water credits done to compensate some of these residents for their inconvenience and the stress that they have to go through when it comes to taking the water. Also brought to my attention that a lot of residents are told that if they miss out on water payments, and they're given a grace period of about a month or so to catch up on those payments or make some sort of minimum payment. But I've been told multiple times that it feels like as soon as you miss the water payment, it's shut off practically the next day. I don't know myself if that's true, but if that is true, that is extremely concerning because the state of California has recognized that everyone here has a right to water, regardless. Another thing we'd like to address too is the water quality as well. Right? We have residents here that cannot drink the water, cannot cook with the water, and we really only pay for the water. So we're paying hundreds of dollars for utility that we simply cannot use on a regular basis or a convenient basis. I could go on, but I know.
Yeah, thank you.
And the other like
You say you're important?
yes, we might address that in phone number as well. Okay, thank you.
Hi, good evening. My name is Cheyenne Ortiz. I live at 527 North Westwood Avenue, Lindsay. I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to participate. As I said, my name is Cheyenne Ortiz, and I am the founder of Rural Whispers, a mobile pet grooming service focused on gentle, natural, and affordable care. But what I'm really building is much more than a dream business. Rural Whispers is a foundation for a dream much bigger. My true goal is to create an oasis of healing, a peaceful sanctuary where animals and people find comfort, connection, and care. A place surrounded by nature where people of all ages, especially those battling social anxiety, stress, or trauma can participate in animal therapy, art therapy, or community support. I want to help empty our shelters by rescuing and rehabilitating animals while also supporting military veterans who are transitioning from service to civilian life. Here they can build trust and confidence through meaningful bonds with animals. I want this to be a place where we honor the lives of our pets that we've been lost, not just with the color in the box, but with a beautiful memorial service that brings closure, grief, and peace to grieving families. I've already started laying the groundwork. Willow and Whiskers is a mobile, accessible, and built on compassion. I'm partnering with local organizations like Help to Serve and Planned Parenthood, who believe in the same visions and are exploring ways to help bring it to life. This isn't just a business. This is something healing, hopeful, and human. I want Willow and Whiskers to be a center of peace for people and animals to learn to grow, trust, and live together. Thank you for listening, and I would be honored to speak more about how we can make this vision a value.
Thank you. All right. One more. I give it to you, man.
That public comments not reflected in the official record. As a resident, the voice matters. This is a new public communication. For the sake of transparency and public engagement, I ask that the comments be published. 26. 7. There was no draft of the request for proposal included in its attachments for you. 7-1 is
Thank you. At this time, I'm gonna have the city manager just give you guys a brief on what's going on with the water stuff, and then we're gonna have something finish also. So,
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you everyone for attending tonight. I know this is, not an easy situation that people are dealing with in Lindsay, and staff is taking it very seriously. The city was made aware by residents of irregular high water bills for July. Staff immediately conducted internal investigation to determine the cause of the high water bills. Staff identified the root cause and has taken action to resolve this. Staff has further implemented additional policies, procedures for this. Any resident impacted by the high bills will be offered the option of a payment plan spread over multiple months. So if you haven't already taken advantage of that, I would encourage you to set up a time and work through that and ensure that because it was multiple months all in one, being able to spread that those users out. Believe our new finance director for that will help our grant.
Buenas tardes. Lo que el City Manager dijo en breve, le dice que gracias por venir. No es una situación muy fácil para los residentes lo que está pasando, que han investigado la causa de lo que está pasando con la agua, han tomado acción para resolver el problema, implementado acciones para corregirlo, y que como el implemento donde subieron los pagos o los cobros de la agua no fue en un mes, fue en varios meses, les va a dar o va a dar la oportunidad de que paguen el balance que se debe en varios meses, porque fue como se acumuló el dinero o la deuda. Y que si
Yes.
y si tienen alguna otra pregunta o quieren tener una junta, pues podemos tener eso.
One last in our investigation, we did determine it was for only a portion of the city where it's happening, not a citywide issue, but primarily in the central part.
En la investigación que se hizo, determinaron de que el problema no fue en toda la ciudad, fue en una porción de la ciudad, más concentrado en el centro de la ciudad. Entonces, sí afectó a varias familias, pero no a todas las familias en la ciudad.
Pero nos van a bajar los biles o no nos van a bajar a los que nos afectó.
The question is, will the bills be reduced?
We can meet, after the meeting, schedule a time and rather than go back and forth.
Dice que podemos hacer una cita para poder tener una junta y a platicar de esto que es la situación.
I have an additional question. What I'm getting is that, residents were inaccurately and are hot water rebuild.
We will,
To pay the full amount.
we will go over this, afterwards. So, again, people have the ability to go on a payment plan, so
Okay,
that,
but that, like, gentlemen, they were inaccurately and artificially charged high water bill usage now, and they're still expected to make those pay that money.
So let's, if they can stay afterwards, we more than welcome to like go over and stuff like and explain it to them.
I understand.
Yeah.
Because then that sounds very, because
if that were true, that would be correct.
Water bills have never been that high to begin with. And yet it still sounds like to me that you're expecting them to make those payments regardless.
We can have the dialogue with the meetings.
Okay.
I'm more than willing to say, I know, most of our staff, let's go home, but council, to say, not that mean.
Okay, that's what it's.
I also want to add that, there's several, changes that have been done in the city. We've had several meetings. I don't know if it's any of these or not, but there has been changes to the water, not so much, a little bit about the rate, but more so on,
For a long, or even like for a long time.
no, I'm talking about, there was a change of the base, there was a change of the base of how much water was going out and how much people were using. So if they want to stay after, then, I'm more than welcome, and some of us are welcome to stay after, and we can explain that. So we have to conduct business first, and then after, if anybody really needs to talk to us, we're more than willing to explain it to anybody who wants to stay, not just for the people who, start the water, but anybody. We're more than welcome to do the big first, that way everybody understands.
Want getting back on the water.
Okay, that's why we have a conversation after. I'm not sure that you were here in the meeting. I'm not sure that you were here.
I wasn't.
Okay, so that way, that'll be explained to you after.
Yeah, so, okay, so at this time, public comment is closed. Yeah. Right, city manager report.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We had a few different things. I know some of the council members have mentioned, did have an EDC meeting. Thank you, Councilmember Sanchez for, the president. Did a great job, recapping that. Also, last night we had a wellness center committee meeting. Well, Councilmember Flores was in attendance, on behalf of the city, going over some upcoming projects, things that we have going on, some capital projects that are looking at for the future for the wellness center, other programs, that are looking to happen sooner rather than later, as well as the possibility of some larger sports that will be presented to council in the future, council. The Olive Bowl, I know that was mentioned, making progress on that, we did receive an extension on the completion of that, so that's, hasn't slowed down work, we still have quite a bit of work, but we haven't had to put in some of the overtime, some of the extra hours, but work is still, in progress for that. and continue to move forward. I want to introduce, I know it was mentioned by the mayor earlier, but we do have a new deputy clerk, Dolly Chang. This is her third week on the job. She came to the city of Lindsay from the Eastern Tule Groundwater Sustainability Agency most recently. So she helped that water agency with a lot of their meeting minutes, staffing group, assisting with the executive director. So she's got a lot of public sector experience. She's been hitting the ground running, and so really appreciate her being here and wanting to help serve in this critical capacity. And I'd also like to introduce Soledad Reese Nunez, our new finance director. This is her second week on the job, so welcome. I think you, as you noticed tonight, you and your staff were doing some bills and making sure that things are, people are understanding and everything's being explained what it means. But Soledad comes to us with a long tenure in municipal finance and in HR background as well. She came to us from the city of Portland. She also worked in the private sector as well for a period of time. So she has a wealth of experience. I think 15 years with the city of Portland, the finance director, roughly. I mean, give or take a year, so maybe that's why she's finance director. So we're extremely grateful for her jumping on and starting. We should be having some more personnel announcements at the next council meeting with some more new faces for our clerk. So stay tuned for that. But welcome to two new additions. So thank you for that. I want to check with our recreation director. I know there's quite a few different things that are coming up. So if you wouldn't mind sharing some of the different events that are happening over the next 3 weeks with the council and public.
Good evening, council, members of the public. This Friday night, we have a free event at our swimming pool. We'll be showing a movie. We'll have free food, activities, a couple of booths, vendors. I can't talk. This Friday night's free, opens at 7:30, so the movie is finished. Community's welcome. We'll take the first 280 people to the pool for free. So this is this Friday night. In a couple of weeks, we'll have National Night Out through our public safety department. We'll have hot dogs, I believe. Hot dogs.
Sure.
To be
Definitely
determined.
hot dogs.
We'll have food. We'll have food. Virginia Loyal will be providing ice cream. We'll have some vendors out there providing some information. Rotary will be out there. The county health department and a couple of their agencies will be out at the pool. That is August 5th, Tuesday night. We do have our foot lessons currently happening. We have about 2 more weeks of that. The pool will be open until the second Sunday of August, before the kids go back to school. We do have our Zumba, chair exercise, balance fitness classes at the wellness center. So if anybody's interested, versus a membership or a 1-day pass for $5. The pool is open all year round for laps one. So if you need to cool off, do some laps or just hang out, come on in. And we do have our pickleball for youth happening still. We have pickleball for beginners. Oh yeah, frisbee golf. We do the grand opening ribbon cutting next Wednesday, right next to the skate park on T number 1. Community is welcome to come out and support at 5:30. What else can I say? Oh, we have a fundraiser event happening in September for the September 11th American Spirit Pool. That's currently behind the German building. That is a fundraiser dinner and silent auction. It is $60 per person. All proceeds go to revamping and beautifying the mural on the McDermott building by next 9/11 of 2006. That'll be the 25th year anniversary of 9/11. So our goal is to raise enough funds to get that done and show our American pride in our community. So we are hoping to raise by next year 25,000. We need at least about 10,000 to get the artists murals to get going, and then we can do payments after that. So we have a small committee. Anita's part of it. We got Mr. Nave, Chief, part of that group. So we got a good group. We're getting the word out. Hopefully raise enough money to get that going. And that's it.
Thank you, Armando. A few other things, I attended the hospital district meeting, earlier this month, just to, kind of touch base, talk with them about the relationship that we have, with, the city, as it relates to the wellness center. That went well. As it relates to the EDC meeting that happened, last month, we did receive a notice of vacancy for one of the members. One turned in his resignation prior to the meeting, so there is a vacancy on that. Just to refresh council's memory, it was initially slated to have one less member, but there were additional applicants. So council accommodated the additional applicants and expanded to fill all vacancies. So I leave that up. There's no obligation to fill that, but if you want to fill that, we can submit we can have post a vacancy and receive applications. So I think we're having that. I'd like to hear that. After I share that with the greater move, speed, so, and we are planning on having, and lastly, well 11, we did receive last Thursday a funding agreement for that from the State Water Resources Control Board. It's a long time coming. It's just under $6 million. I signed the paperwork today. Our attorney signed some additional paperwork as well. So it's being routed through the process for approval. But that's a very big sign required to get that well up and running. That not only will that get that up and running, but the primary purpose was the two-way ion filtration system that water is clean, potable, and for not only that, but it will help us define winter and for future growth. So it's a big deal. Start moving forward. As soon as we get the formal documents, which may take another month or so, but people in State Water Resources Control Board has to actually formally did as well. So at that board meeting, after approval, then we'll start in earnest to get that out in construction. We'll have to put it together, have to advertise for that value prior to construction. But the funding agreement does have a 3-year time limit, so September 2028. But hoping that we can shorten that drastically and get that up and online. And that's all I have.
Thank you.
Well, I have a question for you. For the EC, there's 5 members that are
Yes, that we have makeup. There's 10 members, 11 seats total, 6 of which are community members, 3 are staff, 2 are city council.
I think it's a good. I'm personally a large team that there isn't, so we're not able to schedule, it becomes difficult. So it's kind of, so at this point, send it to me.
Thank you. We're gonna move on to the consent calendar. Routine items approved in one motion unless an item is pulled for discussion. There will be no separate discussion of these matters unless a request is made, in which event the item will be removed from the consent calendar to be discussed and voted upon by separate motion. A motion for the approval for the consent calendar.
I wanted to put 8.7 just to as to the process that we're gonna go through, just to be transparent. But besides that, we'll do the consent calendar. I motion to approve the consent calendar without 8.7.
The motion by Soria and second by, Councilman Sanchez, all in favor? Except for 8.7.
All right, so 8.7 is, to authorize, issue a request for proposal for IT managed services. So in, reviewing the city's, financial policies and procedures, the most recent, update to those policies in December 2023, states that larger services, that are, going to be possibly, over $50,000, which, looking at historic contracts for IT services, the city has that in the past, it was over $50,000, and that requires, council approval, not only of the actual contract, but it also requires an RFP, and it also requires that the council approve staff to go out to RFP. So there's more or less there's multiple steps in that. So this would be the first step, just authorizing staff to get the process to actually work on an RFP, go out to bid, we would craft the RFP, we would submit it out to the public, and then based on the criteria, it will come back to the actual awarding of the service will come back to council for approval or denial of the contract. So this is the first step in that action. Historically, for IT services within the last year, have been having employees in-house that have been helping us with a lot of our IT needs. That employee is no longer with the city. And so, just from the sake of responsiveness, being able to get a little more expertise, with certain issues that arise, we found that there's a need to be able to contract this type of service. There are individuals, that have been helping in that interim period of time, including the former employees. And as well as some of the existing, but it's not hard to see that there can definitely be some improvements to help us with cybersecurity, making sure that we have a safe system on the path, that we have up-to-date things, that we might even need some upgrades in some of our technology. So I think it's prudent to look for this in our upcoming budget that will be presented next month. We do have this budget, assuming that that's approved. So we're not exactly sure if it's a placeholder, but hopefully, something less than that, but it's also somewhat on the past contract. But that's the process. So basically, we need authorization to be able to start with the RFP. No point in us start crafting an RFP if you don't have
Thank you. No, the reason it's not everything in the process, not even, just to be transparent, this is. Lock myself out of my email account. That's a very small example of the IT needs that we have, but we are a large organization. We professionals that can help us make sure that we are up to date with all of our systems. We need to make sure that we're in the present and on the past, and look at our technology, our IT processes for 2025.
Great, any more questions? Thank you. We have a motion to approve 8.7.
I'm motion to.
I second. A motion by Soria, second by Nate, all in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Move on to public hearing. 9.1 public hearing and consider the approval of release 2529, which is the Google sewer reviews and water fees and charges for the period ending July 22nd, 2025 on the property tax roll of the fiscal year 25 and 26. So this is by Tyler.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This is an annual process that we go through. This is for the previous year, delinquents. So this includes, not only water and sewer, but also grass, the properties, address, parking numbers are in the packet, and the various amounts that are owed. In order to meet the county's deadline, we have to have this, into them, early August. So this will be the last council meeting prior to that. Any of the property owners have until the end of this month, the end of July, in order to pay that. Pay that prior to that, we not receive, tax bill or the additional amount on the tax. And to help us with recovering costs and ensuring that, Madam Mayor, if you'd like to open the public hearing.
If I want to open it up to the public for public comment. And this to be, oh, I do. It's open. Do you have any public comments to 9.1? Public comment is closed. Motion.
Before we motion, just to be clear, this is for people that have not paid their water, people have not paid their sewer bill, and have not paid their electric bill. For the last year, the 2024, the delinquent, that means they haven't paid. So we will collect that next year if they pay their taxes. So we might not even collect those monies. This is just to make that effort to try to collect those monies. Sometimes people don't understand that we have to go through the process to call this money from or delinquent for whatever circumstance. That's why we through the process. So I think it's that. It is great.
And notices were sent out, correct?
Yes, notices were sent out, so this is for the last fiscal year, and as Councilman Soria said, property taxes aren't due until December and April of next year, so, our recovery time is still months ahead if they aren't paid by then.
Alright, do I have a motion to approve 9.1? I move, approve 9.1.
That's it.
I have a motion by Nate, second by Soria, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
350.
Moving on to presentation items, 10.1, no Baker Utility, Moss Adams, LLP, financial policies and procedures for finding, action, and recommendations, and for this is presented by Amy. I don't wanna mess up your last name.
Ayo.
Is that Ayo? Ayo.
Thank you.
Mhm.
My name is Amy. I'm the director at Philly. I have 25 years of time management experience, 6 of which are with Philly, and I work with organizations and cities and shores to run better accounting departments. My cover report is in the packet. I just want to bring out a couple of things to bring to your attention that I thought were the most important. First of all, the crisis assessment, we completed that to understand the personnel changes within the finance department that affect the city. Identify those processes that are now and that are causing additional work. We also have provided director of finance support through the transition to Solidar, helping the city manager with the budget and providing that mutual partnership that was. So the first thing to talk about is your accounts payable process. It is very, very difficult. It is very cumbersome. It is taking 2 people in your department to manage accounts payable with their business. We've identified all of the manual processes within this, manually stamping the invoices, sending them to departments, tracking them on Excel because they all come in loss, which is not helping keeping up with the bills. And then trying to find hires to sign the checks or engineers checks. All of this is just taking a lot of time. There are excellent automation systems out there that I would love to see you guys explore. Systems that can make it so that the departments see those invoices in a scan, they can approve it online, those directly into your accounting system. Somebody else outside of the city is cutting those checks for you, showing you what you're paying. Really saving time and really saving that process. Timekeeping. I don't know if anybody there has to deal with the timekeeping system.
Oh, use a clicker.
I don't think you have this.
Oh, okay.
Because this is the full report, I just want to pull out.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody has to deal with motions in the city, but it is very, writing on paper. The finance department then has to try to identify that thing for trying to redo the map within the countries. The department leaders have slides on figuring out this is sheet red. There are systems out there. You can do a timesheet on your phone, on your computer. It goes straight into your payroll. There's no room for error on that. Again, there is somebody in the department spending a lot of time. I'm going into payroll. Payroll's being done on an Excel sheet, and then when you feed into a payroll system, we're spending maybe 2 days every other week trying to do payroll. And then after payroll starts, those payroll tax liabilities are being manually calculated, are being sent to the different state and federal authorities. There are a lot of rules that when those have to be positive. Again, a payroll system, an outsourced payroll system, can take all of that effort from the department. Including all that liability. So if those deposits aren't made on time, or if simply is miscalculated, that cannot get saved. So we are going to address that payroll outsourcing we pursue as well. So that you would have to have some demos, and you would have to get a cost proposal. So there's going to be a cost on that, but there are a lot of versions that are not calculating the time project because these people are spending so much time on the manual processes. Where then what's not being done because it's anything.
Financial reporting, I don't think the departments are getting what they need from the finance department to be able to monitor their expenses. They're not getting actual versus budget. They're not getting regular report. We need those numbers to be able to, but they're not. Some of what's being reported, directly to the department is sense the way it's being done. And we're suggesting that it be changed. But you should be getting regular reports so that you know most of the departments are manually tracking this for themselves so that they have an idea of what's being said. But the finance department really should be being able to give those things. And then finally, your accounting system that's being used right now, there is an upgrade in progress to a better system that most cities are using. It's called Pilot. That was started under the previous finance director, but she was doing it on her own without input from the rest of the department or really from the city. And that work has pretty much been lost as she left. And right before she left, she called off thinking. So I spoke to your implementation coordinator to get you back on the schedule and the implementation around this time next year. The implementation is going to completely change the way utility management works within the department, completely change the way we're reconciling accounts. It can very much change everybody's job within the department and back on the administration and get that one. The rest of my report is in your packets, and I'm going to answer the questions.
Just to put on the record, getting these programs was reduced to an error,
Yes,
like a lot.
by a lot. And give the department the space and the time to do all those things that are not being done. It's part of the reason why your audits are so far behind, because that work that should be being done every quarter, every month, not year, not.
And did you say that the pilot program would have to wait a whole year?
You have to wait a whole year because a lot of the work that she did is now out of date. It will need to be done again, and we're not on it.
Was anybody paid into that?
Yes.
Do we have a credit? Good question. Very good.
Yeah.
Yes, I was curious if you could expand on what you said about not the council and staff not being presented correctly, not put carefully to reflect funds. Can you expand and elaborate on
Yeah, it's being, it's correct at the city level, but what has been happening is where I would expect to see things like the accounting system, fees, the, contracts with the consultants to be held at, an overhead spot. They're being coded up and down for departments. So the departments are confused as to why they're seeing the accounting system in their financials. I know they have the budget for that, and if it's really not the way it was designed, it will be coded directly to the finance and then budget for that. But for the city, it is correct.
So technically, budgets for individual departments probably haven't been presented in the past.
And then, is there other programs other than Tyler that you go with, or is that the one that's the best one out there?
Tyler is very good for cities, because it integrates with your utility management system, which your current system does not. So there is manual thing happening. We are reading that. And you've already done work on state.
Okay. Any other questions? Go ahead.
I'd just like to make a few other comments. I want to thank Amy for being present. The timing has been great. This was one of the major tasks that when the contract was approved in May, was providing this initial report. So this kind of sets sets a pace. It just so happens with the timing of it. Told her that first week. She got a lot of things that she and I have talked about already as far as we will have to do a deeper dive with our recommendations. They're not mandates that we have to do that, so we will have to check to see which programs may work best, what are going to be cost effective. Some might not be depending on the cost, right? So we may not implement everything, but at least we know that there are certain things that are out there. Additionally, outside of those main priorities that you mentioned, in the report itself, it talks about, specific programs to help with business licenses. One specifically for grant compliance, making sure that once we receive grants, that we are meeting deadlines and that we're spending appropriately. So there's quite a bit of technology that I think we can implement to make sure that we're being more effective, more efficient. There's a lot of the basic accounting functions that our finance department isn't getting to right now. We've been having help. We brought in a retired finance director several months ago to help us with some of those tasks. We've worked with the city in the past, so she's helping us get caught up on some of those tasks, but that's something that really could happen in-house. That the team in finance could be collaborating. So there's a lot of good feedback. After this initial investigation, it's also going to take some time too. Like so, this is Tyler. Is realistically a year out. Some of the other things may take months because we'll have to investigate, test, track, get quotes, etc. Come back to council for some of those the costs. Ensure we have an appropriate budget for these different things. So it's still going to take some time, but I think that's the starting point for where we should be putting money.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. At this time, we take public comment for 10.1.
Talk about people behind it. Okay. Pretty much everybody's answered my questions. I just want to make sure that we're not echoing the same concerns repeatedly. Your question is, we know what the problems are, we know what to do about them. Your question is, what are we going to do about it? And now, finance director here, who's going to be ensuring that the management of plans are going to be executed. I just want to make sure that these are not just recycled suggestions that we already know about and just haven't done anything about them. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I read the report. Okay, do you have a finance background? Just
Thank you.
This is not an action item, so there's no for motion or.
Let's move on. Any more public comment for 10.1? No, public comment is closed. I'm going to move on to the action item 11.1, the Mason House and Museum Memorial Agreement. That is item.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you, Gary Mellon. We have Gary Mellon from the Cultural Arts Association, the audience tonight for moral support. The city of Lindsay has had a long-standing relationship with the Lindsay Cultural Arts Association since prior to the existing agreement expiring next month was put in place in 2005. So it is coming up on the end of its life. It was a 20-year agreement for the two properties, both the Mason House and the current museum. Historically, the museum was the old city library. prior to the county built, new library. And then the Mason House has had a long history. Its roots go back to the Sears catalog, when it was purchased, and, when you purchase a home and via catalog. It came out, the Lindsay and was built, city has utilized it over the years. Community development used to be housed there, and actually put bills and did different functions, meetings with the public. Currently, it's primarily used for some meetings and storage. The Cultural Arts Association, over the span of the 20 years of the lease, have invested roughly $175,000 to the sites. So they've been maintaining, they've put a lot of efforts into updating the buildings, helping do some structural additions, landscaping, and that's not to mention all of the different things they've invested inside the building as well, as far as some of the exhibit space and the different things so it's been a great working relationship with them. I asked, there was some cleanup language that we had done. Our city attorney helped revise the agreements. So tonight, we're looking for a 10-year renewal with the museum and a 1-year renewal for the Mason House. And 20 years is an awful long period of time. So we've had a great relationship. I think I'm much more comfortable with the 10-year agreement versus 20-year agreement. That's not that, and that has nothing to do with the Cultural Arts Association. As I've stated, it's a great partner in the space. And then just in my tenure here with the city, there's been lots of different discussion internally as far as different possibilities and uses for the Mason House. And so because of that, I'm asking for a 1-year extension of that lease where there may be opportunities for the city to utilize it again in the future. That's not to say that we would necessarily kick out the Cultural Arts Association, but because that's a little less defined as far as what that would look like, we want to craft a new agreement that incorporates any of that different uses that the city might have with it. So for those reasons, we're asking just for a 1-year extension of the existing agreement. The current agreement, they pay $1 a year per site, and they cover the so they help. They're responsible for maintaining the site and doing things for the actual building.
Thank you.
If there's any questions?
Any questions? The public comment for 11.1.
Wanted to say the Mason building was the Chamber of Commerce. Missed out. Yes, because I worked there. I just wanted, I just want to make sure that we are collecting and reviewing the approval issues. Yeah, that's it.
Hi, Ash, and on the Mason House, I would be willing to also offer any services to the lot, rather than just having a 1-year extension. Like I said, Will Whiskers is more than just pet grooming. It's advocating for mental health awareness and also for the arts as well. And I was a graduate at Lindsay High School, and I had found out that they recently shut down one of the art services at the school. So if anything that I can do, I don't want to just attend here in Lindsay, but I've been here for 15 years. My family lives here. So anything that I can do to help extend that life, I will be more than willing to do. Thank you.
And just for clarification, we're not looking to get rid of them. That's not anyone's right now. So we're just talking about.
All right, do I have a motion to approve 11.1? So I have a motion from May, a second from Sanchez, all in favor? Aye.
Motion carried 5-0.
Bring on to 11.2, labor negotiations for Lindsay Police Officers Association and Lindsay City Professional Firefighter Association. And that's submitted by Vanessa Jones.
I would.
Yep.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. City has been negotiations with our, we have, the backup, we have 4 bargaining units. 2 of which are before you tonight with the Police Officers Association and Professional Firefighters Association. We also have a mid-management group as well as a group of employees that are service employees. Tonight, and again, the bargaining process began early this year prior to my arrival to the city. Once I began, we began bargaining in earnest, in consultation with the city council and working with staff to understand budgetary concerns and making sure that we were meeting the needs of the department as well as our employees. So tonight we have a tentative agreement for both bargaining units. For the Lindsay Police Officers Association, there's some cleanup language, some change in titles that was requested, so we agreed and are honoring that. We also, the Lindsay Police Officers Association have been out of contract since 2023. So it's important to note that the other bargaining units, their contracts ended at the end of June of this, the last month. However, the Police Officers Association has been out for over 2 years. So because of that, in the past, the other bargaining units received a 2 and 2 over that 2-year period, 2% in the 23-24 fiscal year, 2% in the 24-25 fiscal year. LPOA did not receive those. There was not agreement at the time that was bargained for, and so tonight we are recommending a 4% 1-year increase that would essentially, it's not retroactive. However, it would be in effect that would make them whole for what other city employees received over the past 3 years. Additionally, because they were out and didn't come to agreement in 2023, in that time period since, or during that initial negotiation, Juneteenth was a new federal holiday implemented. And so because of that, because they weren't in agreement, that was not included in their last contract. However, we've added that. That will be in line with all of them. So that holiday is already given to the other party. So that's why I don't feel way. Those are the major changes. The base wage increase of 4% for 1 year, and then also adding the holiday. For the professional firefighters, again, we looked at this recognizing that we've eliminated positions. We've made reductions to our staffing over the past year. Earlier in this calendar year, we had cash flow struggles. We had tightened our belts as far as how we were spending money and making sure that we were being good stewards of the taxpayer dollar. And so because of that, we've taken a very conservative approach to bargaining and this round of bargaining for all bargaining. And so even with LPOA, even though we are providing a 4% base wage increase, there was, that was really so in the same light, the firefighters, we aren't recommending a base wage increase. However, there are other things that we are doing, including adding an additional longevity pay at a 5-year mark, increasing rate, for the current longevity pay at the 10-year mark from 5% to 0.5%. There was some other, additional safety gear that, were requested, on an annual basis, and then changing how the rate and how individuals are paid out for. So, that in a nutshell is what's in the different forms. There.
Thank you. I'm gonna open up 11.2 for, public comment.
I'm a little concerned about the approval of salary increase as a reduction of the 25.6% of the budget. Additionally, clarification whether the current acting HR manager previously served as administrative assistant within the public safety department. If so, if this individual will return to that department once the permanent HR manager is more importantly, there is potential conflict of interest on our employee litigation of public safety practices. Don't know if they were, but their current former teachers superior. Thank you.
Thank you. At this point, do I have more public comment? Nope, closed. Do I have a motion to approve 11.2? And will be approved 11.2. I have a motion from Nate, second from Sanchez. All in favor? Aye.
Just to sort of run on that, we have to negotiate the, representatives, right, from the, with our lawyers,
Yeah, I've, council appointed me as the main negotiator along with, we have a law firm that also assists that, so no other staff was a part of it. But with myself and our legal.
If you could clarify on that.
I'm looking to pass it by.
Moving on to 11.3, the salary matrix, action recommendation, to approve resolution number 2531, a resolution of the city council of the city of Lindsay approving updated salary matrix affecting policy and small steps. All right.
Thank you. This, goes in conjunction with the last, item that's approved. So this will be the new salary matrix that, that both of the bargaining will be a part of. In addition, this also, we also changed we're proposing changing the existing matrix, because we've been having ongoing recruitment issues. As council may remember, it was brought to our attention, March, that there were challenges with staffing in our public safety department. That had, some, vacancies, and we're having challenges filling those vacancies. And so in working with staff, both former and current staff, we came up with a solution to help us with resolving and increasing, helping to encourage more individuals that were qualified to apply and to be a part of the city of Lindsay family in public safety. And so what's being proposed is, in a nutshell, we are eliminating the first two steps in the existing, and step 3 will now be step 1. You can see in the chart, and then we will add 2 steps. So we'll still keep the 7-step structure, eliminate the first 2, and add 2 to the back. So there will be a whole new number, but that will increase the base rate for new hires. It will also help with retaining employees as well. So if individual employees are currently at the seventh step, they currently don't have any more opportunities for wage growth in that arena from a step perspective. But now they will have that. We're also recommending that this keeps with the standard procedure. So individuals would move on to the next step after traditional efforts. So they're not suggesting that this be expedited or put into place prior to that. There are, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but there are a couple of employees, 2 or 3 that may be at either step 1 or 2, so they would bump up to the new step 1, which is the current step.
Currently just one, because there's only one employee can about steps to respond.
Do you have any questions?
We are strapped for cash. We can offer a $10,000 bonus, as some of our neighboring cities can. And we do have a huge problem with retaining, hiring and retaining our officers. And so it's important that we do what we can. So this is a responsible action. This is something that is going to not only encourage more qualified candidates to apply, but also retain our experienced campaign officers and not move them to other agencies that are incentivizing with signing bonuses and possible wage growth. So I'm very pleased that we finally got across the line.
And just on that note, we did look at lots of different options to help us with that. One of the things we did analyze was the signing bonus. We overall, I don't think there was one of us that felt that was the best course of action because not only the cost, but I think it also it hurts existing employees. So it only benefits the new individuals, and it also has created a culture where there's a lot of officers that are bouncing around from agency to agency, and they just keep going around collecting that additional bonus check. We aren't really interested in having that type of culture at the city of Lindsay. So, for just the Councilmember Sorian's point, we did evaluate that for numerous reasons. We did not receive that back.
Thank you. At this time, I'll take public comment for 11.3. Public comment is closed. Do I have a motion to approve 11.3? Is that what we need to?
A motion to approve the
I second. Motion from Soria, a second by Nate. All in favor? Aye.
Carried by 0.
We have requests for future items on our actually. No? Okay. Any requests for future items? At this time, okay, thank you. Do we have a need for the closed session, city manager?
Madam Mayor, we do not have this for closed session.
Okay, so at this time, this meeting is adjourned. And then we are going to call a special meeting. So, we're on a special meeting, a Lindsay Successor Agency meeting. We have 2.1 of tax revenues in accordance with the bond. This is by highlighting.
Thank you. This is an annual report that's needed. It was overlooked last year. It was approved in August. This year, the deadline for this is the end of the month, so we did work to have this part of staff has put together the annual budget for this. This is formerly Lindsay used to have a redevelopment agency. The redevelopment agency was disbanded under former California Governor Brown for all cities, including Lindsay, and there was a process put in place that created successor agencies as far as how to distribute those funds out. This has taken cities multiple years to unwind those, and still, redevelopment agencies historically were created to help with economic development, with beautification, with revitalization of a lot of city urban cores, and a lot of other uses. And so, but we do have an annual report that is required to put in the state. This historically also, the city of Lindsay had an independent, oversight committee for this, successor agency, which I served on in a previous life. But since then, the city has, taken on ownership of the successor agency. So you serve as both the city council and the successor. That's this item. And so the action tonight is to, approve and mayor sign a letter. We will submit that to the state showing how and where to fund.
Concern. And I said that there's no fiscal impact of the action.
Correct.
So the most, sorry, I'll take public comment for 2.1. Any public comment? No public comment is closed. Do I have a motion to approve 2.1? I move to approve 2.1.
I said,
I have a motion by Jamie, second by Storia, all in favor? Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
This meeting is adjourned. Special meeting is adjourned.